right. This man, he has the internet in tethers, okay? And he does not give a fuck about what you say about this man's virginity, who he's kissed, if he's telling too many people that he's been catfished. Hi, we're here with Tyray. Famously from 90 Day Fiance season 10, their signature season 10, and now on Single Life. Tyray, I am honored that you're here on TSFS.
I'm honored. Thank you for having me, Sarah. I appreciate it.
All right. Now, when you were asked to do Single Life, I mean, arguably, this cast of Single Life is the most stacked we've ever seen. I mean, you have Chantel from the family Chantel. I mean, Natalie Mortadova is a trip. I mean, you have John from Boston, Patrick's brother, who's a character in himself. I mean, you're on it. Veronica. I mean, you've got a lot of people. When they told you your cast members, were you at all intimidated by that cast?
I was shocked, honestly. Like, I heard, a little bit of here and there, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I had the same producer as another cast member. So they said they were going to the city. And I'm like, well, there's only one or two reasons to go there. So I was like, okay, so they're back. And then I had met Natalie, actually, when we were doing a photo shoot for the Single Life. And, I already knew she was going to do it again because, her story was still, it wasn't complete, Yeah. So, those were the two I knew that were confirmed. And then once I seen, when I heard Debbie and John and Chantel, I was shocked. Mainly with Chantel. That was the biggest shock to me. I'm not surprised about Debbie, though, because Debbie is a full-blown character. She's good TV. And John, too. So I was glad that they included him.
Amazing. I mean, and by the way, did you try to get with Chantel? That would have been the first person. Did you slide in her DMs? I mean, I would have been like, Chantel, I'm ready to lose my virginity to you. See what she said.
I didn't even do that. I didn't slide into her DMs or anything. I actually followed her when I was doing the first show. And then I was shocked. She was one of the first people to follow me back from the 90 Day universe. And I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. And I seen her watch a few of my stories and stuff. I'm like, okay, so she notices me. I guess I'm not
I think people are so drawn to you because you've put your entire life out there, which is really hard for people to do. And I mean everything from your weight loss journey and your body positivity journey to being catfished, the story of you being catfished on season 10, your virginity, your first kiss. I mean, what is it in you that has had the strength to put this out? I mean, were you embarrassed at all at first, or you were like, you know what, fuck it. I'm doing this. How have you found the courage to do it? Because a lot of people would never say what you've said about yourself.
Well, actually, it's funny because I was never the type to put myself out there and tell anybody anything. I was the most secretive person on the earth, literally. Nobody would know anything about me. I wouldn't even bring a lot of friends over. You know what I mean? So nobody even knew a lot of my friends. I was very not even quiet or reserved, but I just I liked my own personal space and my privacy. And then once my mom got sick, it was kind of at a point where I had quit my job, and then I was just you know what? I don't really have anything to lose. Why am I hiding what's going on with me, and why am I not, being more out there? So when it came time to do the show and stuff, I was just kind of I don't want people to know this. But then at the same time, I was I have to get this off my chest because holding it in is not good for you, mentally, physically, or anything. And once I did start telling people stuff, I felt so much better inside. And that was probably the biggest lesson for me. But the first season, it was terrible, honestly, when I was telling everybody everything and having everybody know all this stuff. But now it's people are always trying to hook me up with people and take me out and be let's go here and let's go there. And I'm all right. So it's a blessing and a curse. You know what I mean? Well, whatever the saying is. But yeah, now it's good. I like the newfound openness that I have.
I got to ask you on season 10, when they were casting you, do you think that the producers had any inkling? You have said yourself, there were some red flags about Carmela, but did you feel, it seems odd to me that producers, did they speak to Carmela before you two were cast? How did
Yeah, they actually did.
Wow.
They have to reach out to both of us. You know what I mean? To basically confirm the relationship and confirm to make sure everything kind of aligns with it. So they did reach out to her, I was told, because and then when they told me they didn't even know. One of the producers said they basically got a call from, the higher ups, and they told them what happened. And that's when they came into the house. Like, that was all like real raw scene. I didn't know what they were going to tell me.
Okay.
I'm like, wait.
This is what this guy is such a maniacal liar, right? So, okay, for people that don't know, I mean, you were famously on season 10. You had been dating a woman named Carmela in Barbados for 4 years, right? You'd sent her $2,000. You'd spoken on the phone. You'd talked. Had you videoed? No, you'd never video chatted, right?
No, never.
Never video chatted. Then, producers come in this very famous scene where they say to you, we're willing to turn the cameras off. We have to tell you something about Carmela. When at that moment, by the way, did you have a feeling it was that you were being catfished, or did you think she was like dead? I mean, that was like a really intense moment. I guess she kind of is dead because she doesn't really exist. But I mean, right? The way they did that was quite serious. I was like, God, this man probably thinks she's been killed. Like.
That's what I thought. I thought that like something happened to her or something. I was like, what are they about to tell me? So I was just like, oh my God, what are they going to say? And then I was just like, wow, because man, it was just weird because I didn't know what we were going to film for the day. You know what I mean? And it was just weird because she had ghosted me literally the week before we started filming. And that was my birthday. So it kind of was like other stuff that happened. So I was just like, I don't know what's going on,
Wow. So you chose in that moment to keep the cameras rolling. That was pretty brave. I mean, did you have second thoughts about that? Like,
yeah, because I'm like, what are we gonna do? Like, I don't even know. Like, I do want to know who this person is, but then I was like, at the same time, F them. You know what I mean? Because like I kind of like to move on with my life, but then I had questions that I want to answer, and then I knew though once they said catfish that this person is not gonna reveal themselves, and then like. I was hoping that we could go to Barbados and find the person. And like, I talked to one of my friends and she's just as crazy as I am. She was like, we can get air tags, put them in a bag and tell her to meet us. And we can follow her. I was like, oh my God, you're crazy. But I wanted to do it.
That would have been a good idea. Because you end up meeting the woman that's picture is used. You end up meeting that real woman. But did you guys ever actually confront, I can't remember, did you confront the guy that was pretending to be Carmela?
No, we tried. At the tell-all, they had
Yeah.
found like a new number or something like that to contact the person. But I guess, I don't know what happened. The number didn't work. But we did leave a voicemail on one of the numbers that we called. And they might be a little mad because Riley has some words for them.
Well, yeah, Riley, hopefully you said eat shit, you piece of shit. Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't. I hope we left it all on the line there, that motherfucker. I mean, that was like horrible what they did to you. Okay, so you recover from that. I mean, you've been this is the part I'm so fascinated by. I mean, you're 33 years old. You openly say, I'm a virgin. Are you still a virgin right now? What can you tell us?
Yeah.
You seem like a bad liar. Look, are you this is my question to you. I've seen this over the years. People will actually auction off their virginity. Have you thought about this? I feel like you're famous now. Why don't you put up a auction? Because I think a woman would pay $5,000 to be your first lay.
I can donate it to charity or something too. That'd be hilarious. Be the best 3 seconds of her life. No. Oh God.
I think I will be your manager. I will promote this. Why don't you sell your virginity? I've seen women do this. I feel like you could do this. It would be so good.
That's hilarious. All right, I might have to message you privately after this.
Okay, Look, Riley and Kimberly were on my show recently, and I said, it's too bad I'm married because I would drive to Modesto and fuck you myself at this point. I just really want this for you. We all do. All of America is rooting for you to lose your virginity. I think this is a question though that people really do have because you're not the only person in my life that I know that's in their 30s that's a virgin. They really are, and especially now, I think because of the internet and people socializing in person less and less, I think more and more people are older in life losing their virginity. This is a real question I'm going to ask you. At 25, I'd just be like, you know what? I am hiring an escort. Like, how did that ever cross your mind?
You know what? It didn't. But you know what's funny though is that like it was never like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I just like the I don't know, I'm not even gonna say it's pure, but I just like um being in control of that part. You know what I mean? Of the sexual aspect. And I feel like sometimes like temptation is hard, you know? And I can't like imagine being in a situation where I'm around like a beautiful woman or whatever, and she comes on to me or something like that, like and saying no to it, So I can't imagine. But I did realize, like I seen the articles that like people are being less intimate, like younger people and older people too. And a lot of people are like going through like their celibacy and all that kind of stuff now. So I think that's kind of like a mental thing for certain people too. And like I've been to a strip club before, and it was just the most awkward thing ever. And I was like, oh my God, it's crazy. So it's just weird. I don't know. I guess I'm just different.
Well, for you, it sounds like your virginity has a much more spiritual, deep meaning. Is that right? Like you really, okay. So
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, are you very religious? Like, is this something for you also spiritually, religiously? You want to have sex with someone that you are going to be married to?
We grew up really religious. I haven't been in church in like 5 years now, but I do have that part of me, the religious part, but like not overly. Like I know, like, back in the day, even like having kids out of wedlock, that was like frowned upon, and now it's way different, So for me, it's not even just the religious aspect of it. I just want to have like, some type of connection, because I feel like, once you give away your goodies, they're gone. Or you know what I mean? So I just feel like I want to have something deeper than just,
Oh my
sex.
God, you're so sweet. Well, once you have sex, I will be curious to see if you feel the same way, because I have a sneaking suspicion you're going to be like turning into like a Sister Wives. You'll be like Cody Brown out here fucking everybody that moves. I just think it's gonna be nonstop. But I love, obviously people are very curious about this aspect. I also had read you said that your dream woman is Hillary Clinton. Is that true?
That was taken a little out of context.
Okay.
It's hilarious though. I do like a strong woman. My mom was very strong, and I always had jobs where I worked around a lot of women. So, and a funny story, I worked at a school, elementary school, and I did like after school program. And my supervisor, this short little lady, barely could speak English. She was hilarious. She was really strong. And like her husband would do all the cooking and the cleaning. She would go to work and all that. And like, she would bring us his food and all that. And she would just say like, she likes to be in control. And then once I quit, I would go and visit the kids and my coworkers, every once in a while. And they hired a new guy and he was working there. And she was like, I don't like him because he doesn't listen to women. That's why I like you. And like, I didn't realize that was really a thing, that like some men don't really listen to women when it comes to like, when they're ahead of them or whatever. I thought it was weird, but I do like a strong woman. I like, a woman to kind of slap me around a little bit.
Okay. So it sounds like we're already getting into a fetish here of a dominatrix type situation where this woman is slightly abusive and controlling to you, and that turns you on. Okay, that's great. We're getting closer to finding the one. Okay, well, this made me think, though. I mean, you've already thought, like, Hillary Clinton, because of her power, is attractive to you. Now, have you thought about other aspects of this? Like, have you thought about what song you want to lose your virginity to?
No, actually. That's a good one, though.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I have some pretty good playlists, though.
Oh, you do? All right. Like, who's your favorite artist?
You know what? I like Kanye West, but
okay,
he doesn't really have anything I think I can, get it on with.
Well, you're not messing with a gold digger, that one. That should be your motto, and that you want to fuck to that. That's great.
That's a good one, actually. I'm about to write that down.
Okay, so we might be losing our virginity to a Kanye West song. Sounds good to me. Okay, what do you make of recently this past week since the latest episode aired? You've gotten, articles have been written about you, Screen Rant and other places, where people are like begging you to stop telling these women that you've been catfished. Are we going to see you change that? Or for the rest of the season, do you lead with that?
You know what? With that situation that was on the show, she did kind of open up a little more than what you guys seen. So I was like, oh, wow, like she's really like laying it out. And I'm like, you know what, let me just lay it out. Because like when that was shot, I don't know if I can say it or not, but the show was only on the second episode. So we were filming while the other show was airing. And then I don't know if she watched it or whatever. So I was like, this is what happened. And in a way I was trying to be like, funny to get her to like, maybe be like, wait, what? And, draw interest to me. And then, but after that, I haven't said it to anyone else. I don't even mention it anymore.
Okay, so good. That's good. People were very concerned on the internet. They're like, someone tell this man, where are his friends? Tell him to. Although I have to say, I'm kind of with you. The people that I've ended up dating the longest, and even my husband, like within the first 3 dates, I told them a lot, like probably a lot more than is advised, and it worked out. So sometimes, you just better to put it out. But I get what people are saying. There's kind of sometimes a strategic way to drop it. I get that. I wanted to switch gears because this is another part of you that I connect with so much on a personal level. I was always your weight and your body positivity. I was always an overweight child, always. And as I've gotten older, I ended up finding mindful eating. I lost 60 pounds, naturally, giving
That's
up
awesome.
doing yo-yo dieting and all this. Yeah, thank you very much. And I know the journey. Anyway, I've gone back to my mom and I said to her, why, we were so overweight as kids. Like, what were you thinking? And she said to us, well, she was born in 1948. So she grew up, post World War II. And her parents didn't have any money. They were broke. And she remembers going to bed at night hungry. And so she always said, a chubby kid to me was a happy kid. Like that to me, I never wanted you guys to feel hunger. I've wondered if, you've talked about like your childhood, your siblings, your mom, losing your dad. For you, where are you at with your weight journey? And it seems like you've done some digging into why, we use food as comfort. So I'm curious more about your story.
Yeah, so similar to you, like my mom, they grew up. My grandparents, they came from Arkansas, moved to Oakland and San Francisco. Both sides actually, my mom and dad's side. And they worked a lot, and that was back in like my grandma was born in 1923. She's deceased now, so they did have it, kind of hard. They were like house cleaners and stuff like that, and they they went to bed hungry a lot. You know what I mean? And then when we grew up, it was just like we would like emotionally eat, and then like I had lost weight, would come off or whatever, and then I like started hanging out with like two of my older cousins, and then we were drinking, and then it went to like eating Taco Bell at 2 a.m. and then having a beer at 3 a.m. and then like you get to that cycle. And then for me, one of the hardest parts was when I would actually like get on a diet and then like I might mess up one meal, and then I'd be like, oh snap, I messed up lunch, so now I'm just gonna eat that for the rest of the day. Then the rest of the day turns to the rest of the week, then it turns to the rest of the month. So for me, it was always that one little mistake would make it be a bigger mistake,
Yes.
And that was one of the hardest parts for me, that diet. And then you mess up one day and then you're like, all right, I messed up already. I ate a hamburger, so I'm going to eat me, 6 cookies. Or
I might as well eat all the French fries, order a dozen cupcakes. Yes, I was the same way, completely a binge eater. And it was like, you're either, restricting or you're permitting, where you're just like, anything goes, I'll eat everything. And yeah, it just creates this like really awful, cycle. But you seem to, where are you at now with it? I mean, I even had read like you want to consider doing gastric surgery, but of course I know it is very, very expensive. It's a big process. Where are you at now with your journey?
So actually, I did get in contact with the company based in California, but does, procedures in Mexico. And they worked out a deal with me to get, a gastric sleeve done in April. So I'm still kind of, debating, but
sure.
They basically, they want me to do it. And I put my deposit down. So I'm just trying to like, still see what I can do first. Because I have to do the pre-op in like a month. But I'm probably most likely going to do it. I think it'll be good, and it's just, I have to make sure I'm good and healthy,
I got a good book for you, and I think you'll appreciate this because you're a man that really respects and loves women. There's a book out there. It's called Women, Food, and God. And you and I kind of have a similar food story. I read that book and it changed my life. It was the exact same kind of story. And I'm imagining too, like, I'm sure you had family pressure and stuff, but people were always in my family commenting on my weight. I was either too fat or too skinny, so you kind of get this like, what am I supposed to be, Yeah. And the binge eating, it's so good. I think you would love it. And it really made me look at food and every time that I overate and binged ate, what I was really craving in life. And I wonder if it would resonate with you. But I think it's really brave of you to put your story out there.
Yeah, I think and just hearing your story too, like how you actually, you accomplish your goal, naturally, like that's amazing. And it shows a lot of dedication and hard work, because, I would do it and then I would work out, and go to the gym and I would eat, pretty healthy. And like, I actually do know a little bit about nutrition, about, counting calories. I have all those apps. I have a gym membership that I haven't been to in like a year.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to like get back out there. And usually when I do start to diet, I'll diet for like maybe like a month, and then I'll start going to the gym just because I know that I have to get my body back to, the eating right part. And then I just mess up and it sucks.
I want to get your address because I want to send you these books, because there's another book called Diets Don't Work, and that changed my life too, because I dieted. I went to my first Weight Watchers meeting when I was 12 years old. I also said to my mom, why did you take me to a fucking Weight Watchers meeting when I was 12? She's like, oh, you really wanted to go? I wanted you to get healthy. And I'm like, oh, Mom, this is like, because that kicked it off, right? Because again, you're always restricting. And it's like, if you go off of your Weight Watchers points, it's like, well, screw it. I might as well just order a pizza and eat everything in sight. Anyhow, I gained and lost 150 pounds from the ages of 12 to 27. And then finally, I discovered this mindful eating therapist and a couple of books. And I did go to a 3-day seminar too. It changed my life. And it took about 2 or 3 years. And I was going to say, do whatever you want. I shoot my mouth off on this show. But, cancel your gym membership. I lost all my weight walking. I love to walk. We live in California. I live in Los Angeles. I to this day, I just love to get out and walk. I'll walk 2 miles, 3 miles. I lost all my weight without a fucking gym, without anything. And anyway, I love you, and I hate to, when I see you, like, I've even heard like a listener or a viewer sent you a letter to your home commenting on your weight.
A letter.
And the letter
was like,
what did it say?
Was like, it said it was the nicest, meanest letter I ever got. It was like, what was it? You need to stop doing what you're doing on the show and stop the 90-day nonsense. And then she named they named like 4 hospitals in the area that does like weight loss surgery, and go to one of these safe hospitals and have weight loss surgery. And I was like, lady, it's not that easy, or lady, or ma'am, or sir,
whoever you are.
Yeah, it's not that easy. Like, you have to get approvals. Like, I worked in insurance, so I know the whole process. You have to do a special diet for them to even approve it. So I'm like, lady, I can't just walk in there and say, give me weight loss surgery. I'm like, at least if you're going to send me a letter, send me a check too, so I can at least pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're going to take the time to write all this bullshit, then write me a fucking check. I know. I'm just blown away at some of the criticism you get. Does that, years ago, before I became tougher skinned in this business, those comments would just like really shrink me. How have they been being on national TV? How's it been?
I would say, like, during the first show, it was hard because, like, I wasn't expecting this stuff. But then, like, the weirdest part is that they'll attack, like, your mental health. And that's like, oh, you're crazy and stuff like that. I'm like, guys, I'm really in control of, like, my mental. And I have a really good support system. And, good friends and good, like, support from, like, other cast members. And my family has been amazing, too. So, like, that part, I'm in control of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just the comments. And, like, usually the people who say, like, you're fat or you're ugly, how can I say it nicely? Well, they're projecting their own image, basically. You know what I mean? So it's like don't attack people's appearance, because nobody is perfect.
I know. You go and click on your profile and you're like, oh, all right, please. They're missing 3 teeth, and it's like, okay, well, I'm perfect. I actually just saw this TikTok video from a guy who said, do not ruin your day over someone who literally looks like they negotiated their way onto planet Earth. And I just love that. Like, right? Some of these people, he's like, they literally look like they negotiated their way. And it's like, it's true. You look at some of these people, they have comments about your life, and you're thinking, you've got a million things to say about them. But anyway, for you, what's something, I don't know, what is this process of putting yourself on national TV? What's the biggest thing that's changed for you?
I get noticed a lot in my town. I don't live in a really big town. It's like, I have a lot of people rooting for me here. And like, every time I go out, they're like, we're rooting for you. And like, let's have a drink. And it's crazy. I'm like, wow. Like, I got a lot of support. And one of the best things I'll say is the connections I made with like other cast members. Like me, Riley, and Kim were really close with Liz. She's really cool.
Yeah.
I talked to Amanda a lot, Statler, a lot of cast members that I've grown really close with. Natalie, she's hilarious. You guys don't really see that part of her, but she is hilarious.
She's a great person. She's been on my show, and I just had a whole new respect for her. We spent over an hour together, and she was just unbelievable. She's got a great story too, and I just love everything about her. I love her attitude. I like her shortness. I love everything about her. She's great.
Me too. It's like one of the best parts of the show was seeing her mom come to America. Like that really touched me.
I agree. I know that was so good. Yeah. So you've really kind of gained. Well, first of all, you've got this amazing fame, and you're getting free drinks. Hello, yes to that. I'd love more free alcohol when you see Tyray out. Right. Buy me free booze, and then it sounds like you've got this whole new built-in friendship of friends and family.
Yeah. I was just at Riley's house last month. I stayed there for like 5 days, and I'm gonna go to San Diego, hang out with Liz in a few weeks, and hopefully link up with Kim too. So yeah, I got really good friends just from doing the show, and even the TLC people and the Shark people, amazing people. Like you really learn a lot about like the business and just other people's lives and like what they've seen, and it's amazing.
This isn't a question. This is a statement. I want you to stay away from Asuelu. Okay, Asuelu. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I love it. I don't want to give Asuelu a hard time. Asuelu seems to hang out with these cast members. It's all trouble. You stay clear of Asuelu. Lastly, what are you working on? You know, I think what reality television has given so many people, including in the 90-day universe, is other things, right? Great cameo businesses. I believe Statler and Dempsey are talking about doing kind of a travel group that you can travel with them. Stephanie Motto sells her farts in a jar. Are you working on any of that? You know, selling maybe like your pubic hair after you lose your virginity? I don't know. I'm just throwing that.
You know, I'm not really doing anything too crazy. Okay. I'm doing the cameos. I'm making some little parody shirts too.
Great. I think you should auction off your virginity underwear. I really do. I will bid. I've got $150. I would love that pair.
I got you.
Okay, it's going to go in. I'm going to start my own TLC museum. I love the show so much. I'm going to start my own TLC museum. And I think your virginity underwear, please send them to me.
I got you.
This is getting borderline weird, but this is just send me. I want to frame them, and I want Tyray's virginity underwear. All right. Is that odd? Is that weird?
All yours, Sarah. All yours.
Okay. Well, this is okay. Why don't we wrap it up here? You seem like you're getting uncomfortable. You're turning red. You're getting uncomfortable.
I love it.
You're getting uncomfortable.
No, you remind me of like the women I worked with at my old job. They would make me so uncomfortable. It'd be hilarious. They would try to do it. I was like, oh my God.
I always tell people women can be the worst. Women are the nastiest, the worst. I mean, they can be so raunchy. Men get a bad rap. I mean, some of you guys, you're sweet as can be, and the women can be bad. Oh my God. Bad. Tyray, we are loving following your journey on Single Life. People can find you on Instagram. It's Tyray. Tell me the IG handle.
It's T Tyray YY. Well, T Tyray Y. TTYRAYY.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, and we wish you nothing but the best. We can't wait to see you more to come.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. I loved it. It was amazing. You got me out of my comfort zone. I love that kind of stuff. I'm going to have a good Friday now.
Okay. Hold on.